All right, guys. What we have here is a little addendum to the job analysis. Since I've decided to go textbookless in this context, Quincy, what do you think? That maybe we need to just have some additional components for you, some additional examples to kind of support our mission in doing this without a textbook. So I just got a couple examples here to check this out and probably help with your homework in assignment 4, if you will, homework 4. The following examples are for strategic staffing, so if you got that book, good on you. If you didn't, I'm trying to fill in the blanks here. They're going to help you get some idea of the ways that data from job analysis are organized and displayed, and that might help facilitate, God, how do I present this in my assignment, I guess is part of my hope here. They also provide an example of the level of detail. So, and that's a common question for students. Well, how detailed does this need to be? And again, meticulous record keeping is a must, so let us get into the habit of thinking about record keeping. So, task statement examples, right? So here's just some examples. We talked about functional job analysis, and this is akin to this, right? So what is the action verb, to whom, how, and why? So, rights, employee rights, right? Employees the who, or worker. Rights, advertising copy using Microsoft Word for placement in newspaper. Notice, again, the grammar, the breakdown. So when you're looking at your task statements, do they conform to this mold, right? Let's move down the list, right? Compares unit expenses with budget, using basic mathematical computations to ensure budgetary compliance. Believe it or not, as a human resources professional, right, that might be actually in your job description. That is, you have to compare your expenses to your budget, right, to make sure that you're in compliance with your budget requirements. Or drives fuel truck containing gasoline to work sites, following all safety procedures to refuel construction vehicles. Okay, so just example of task statements, and that's all this little lecturette is intended to do, is to give you some additional detail to maybe reduce the level to which you have to struggle through your assignments. Job duties. Okay, group task statements into a job duty. So, classroom instruction. Well, what do you got to do? You got to prepare course syllabus using Microsoft Word, right? Prepare lectures in advance, and then lecture students verbally to accurately communicate. Notice though, and so university what part of being a university professor? Lot to do. Classroom aspect, right? Then it has these 3 general statements, and boy are those general, right? Weighting job duties. What does it look like? And notice, if you're developing a checklist or one of those inventory lists that I have asked you, then you might want to capture this. Job duty. We have determined that this is one of your job duties. This is what, previous incumbents have told us. And now we've given people a checklist. Check if you actually perform this. So they check it, and then they can rank the importance, the relative importance, on a scale here of 1 to 100, and the relative time spent, the percentage of time, or you could do it in actual raw numbers of time. Okay. Now, I mentioned job requirement matrix. This is when we start putting all our information together. That is, Quincy, what on earth are you doing? We put all our info. He's going crazy here. So we put all our information together. This is kind of getting to be the final result. And you see here the job duty, then it says project management. What does that include, right? Relative importance of their job duty, 35%, right? Time spent, about 20%. Now, we get to the competency. What are the knowledge, skills, abilities, or others, right, that might facilitate their ability to do this? Do they have an ability to develop plans and schedules? Do they have time management skills? Do they have knowledge of project management reporting software? So notice, if this was super critical, then I might actually test my applicants using some way to test them on these. Or if I'm going to rely on interviews, I might then build my interview script saying, hey, can you please list, can you describe to me what project management software you've used? and how familiar you are with it, right? So I could ask that in an interview. Maybe better is I give them my project management software and actually have them do something with it, but regardless. Now, this is a requirement matrix. We can also, because remember we want to entice employees, is have the reward matrix. So, competitive base salary is $32,000 a year, right? Differential, that is what is the pay differential depending on people's interim step levels, right? And then the stability. Is this something you can rely on, or is this something that would then be, so let's say it was full-time lecturer, let's say full-time psychology department, full-time lecturer, competitive base salary, what is it? Well, it runs anywhere from, let's say, $30,000 to $60,000 a year, right? The differential, well, we do it on a course-by-course basis, is $6,000 to $6,600 per course, right? Stability changes on department whim or need, which is no security whatsoever, right? And to whom the reward might apply, well, teachers don't get to, they don't got much oomph. One thing that's realistic about my job is there are 50 people in Columbus that would love to see me leave this job, because there's probably 50 instructors that want this job. Puts us in a very poor bargaining position, because it's like, you don't like it? Hey, split, because we'll find someone else to replace you in short order. Okay. Further job promotion opportunities. You can talk about having individual responsibility, doing different tasks every day, right? So check it out. Now, homework 5. Yep, I slipped it in on you. What do we got? Getting our feet wet with ONET. This is one of the few individual assignments you'll do besides your Peter Principle report. So goals, you're going to become familiar with ONET. You're going to use ONET to understand potential career choices. You're going to use ONET to assess one's current qualifications for a position. You're going to use ONET to plan for potentially needed skills. Right? Use ONET to discover unknown characteristics of a position. So, homework 5. What do we got? One-page assignment, done individually. Choose a job in which you're interested in for yourself. If you're uncertain, you can go to ONET, right, and the link is supplied. You go and right over in the upper right-hand side is I want to be a button. And you press I want to be a button. And it queries you and points you towards potential occupational areas. Locate the job in ONET. Either you do it or let ONET do it for you. List 3 knowledge elements, skills elements, abilities elements that you already possess. So when you look at the KSA, say, hey, for this job, do I already own some of these? Do I already possess them? Right? And then identify 2 each where you could use some further development. So a lot of times if we kind of say, hey, you know, that job looks good. Wow, check it out. I already know how to do these 3 things, but wow, they also require these other things, and I'm not too good at that. How can I get good at those so when I apply, you know, they look at me and say, oh, man, this guy's good to go. This gal's good to go, right? So what are 2 characteristics, features of the job that you found surprising or unexpected? So read through the whole damn thing and say, wow, I didn't know it paid like this, or oh, no, I didn't know it required that. So ONET, let's go. And this is a link, right? I want to click on the link, and what happens? Well, it's freaking going to take us to ONET. Uh-oh. Well, you're going to have to press the link, because my computer screen here is showing the link, but it's not going to show on here because I'm in the middle of a presentation. Let me see. Maybe I can fix that. So here we are. Let's get out of there. All right, I know. It's kind of clunky. Maybe I'll figure out how to do this better in the future. But here's ONET, right? And so this is it, man, and it's awesome. So I want to be, and let's see that, but let's suppose I want to be a psych instructor. I'm going to put, no, let's be who wants to be an adjunct a psychology instructor? There it is. I've already searched for it. So there we go. And I say, let's go. Tell me all about it. And now, psychology instructor. But what kind? What flavor? Teacher, post-secondary? Right? And it goes on down the list. So I'm going to say, well, I want to be a psychology teacher, post-secondary. And I'm going to click it. And then what does it say? And it says, okay, here's a task list. Now, notice this is an abbreviated task list. It says 5 of 24 displayed. So obviously, you know how to do it. If I hit the plus sign, it's going to list all 24. Look, I should recruit and hire new faculty. That is something I did at Columbus State, right? Not at Ohio State necessarily, though. So not all of them apply. What are the technology skills required or suggested via their job analysis? And ONET has conducted zillions of job analyses or taken existing job analyses, and it says, well, people should have this knowledge. That's the K, right? Then they should have this skill. So I should have psychology knowledge of human behavior, etc., and performance. What skill? I should be able to select a learning strategy, right? That would be one of my skills, right? Or reading comprehension should be one of my skills. What are my abilities? Well, I should have oral expression, written expression, right? Written comprehension, speech clarity, okay? And so on. Those are the abilities. Notice the job analysis is largely done here and simply needs to be refined. What are the work activities? Detailed work activities. What is the context? Right? So who does what, where, to what effect, right? And then the job zone. And now it starts, tell me about the job, the training, example, the salary ranges, right? And so it goes. Interests, what work styles, what work values, what are related occupations, right? Wages and benefit, median wages for a psychology instructor. I shouldn't have looked at this. That's $76,000 across the nation. But let's suppose, how many want to see what's happening in Ohio? So I look in Ohio. Let's go. And we see that it was $76,000 annually. And then when we look at Ohio, maybe sometime here or not, what do we see? Then we see some nice graphs of the wages. And also I can separate it by zip code as to rural or not. So workers in Ohio in this occupation on average earn $76,000. 10% of workers earn $40,000 or less. 10% of workers earn $140,000 or more, right? And so it goes. So you want to know about a job, right? Oh, here's the breakdown of locality. So if we look in Columbus, probably be better off the United States is higher. Columbus is pretty damn low. Look at Cleveland, 47,000. 33,000. Where's the annual median? We can see the medians, so we can see all the differences there. If you want to know about employment prospects, it'll tell you if it's a hot job or not. Gives you an idea what you make. Anyway, here's some of the tools to use. This was intended to be a short one, so we conclude 2.11, which is some kind of job analysis add-ons. There you go. And if it makes us all feel better, I want to go back here. So let's go ONET. There we go. Let's go ONET. So you can follow that link. And this is the end of this module. And I hope to hell that while it's the end of this module, it's the beginning of some amazing careers for you guys. Have a good day.